Aman stood quietly at the edge of the small courtyard, watching the evening sky slowly change from gold to deep blue. The world around him seemed peaceful, the birds returning to their nests, the soft wind brushing past. But inside him there was a storm that had lasted for a long time. "I have done everything," he whispered under his breath, "everything to make your heart okay." His mind drifted back to the beginning, when love felt light and full of hope. He remembered how he used to wait just to see her smile, how he would plan small things just to make her happy. He listened when she spoke, stayed when things were hard, forgave when it hurt, and gave more even when he had little left. He believed love was about endurance. He believed if he tried harder, loved deeper, stayed longer, one day her heart would open. But that day never came. Her words were often cold, her silence louder than anything she could say. And slowly, Aman began to feel something he had never expected to feel in love: emptiness. One evening, after many sleepless nights and silent tears, Aman made a decision, not out of anger, not out of pride, but out of truth. He found her sitting where they used to talk, a place that once held laughter but now felt unfamiliar. "I need to speak," Aman said quietly. She nodded, but her eyes did not meet his. Aman took a deep breath. His voice was calm, but every word carried weight. "I have tried in every way I know to make your heart feel something for me. I have given my time, my patience, my care, even when it cost me my peace." He paused, not because he was unsure, but because he wanted his words to be honest. "But I searched in your heart, and I found nothing for me, not even a small place." For a moment, silence filled the space between them. "I am not angry," Aman said softly, "and I do not hate you, but I cannot continue giving love where it is not received." She finally looked at him, surprised by the calmness in his voice. "So what are you saying?" she asked. Aman gave a small, gentle smile, the kind that comes from acceptance, not happiness. "I am saying my love will remain, but not here. It will go to those who understand it, to those who feel deeply, to those whose hearts are warm enough to hold it." And with that, Aman turned and walked away. Not once did he look back. The days that followed were not easy. Letting go did not mean forgetting. There were moments when memories returned like waves, unexpected and heavy. There were nights he sat alone, questioning if he had done enough, or if he had been enough. But slowly, something began to change. Aman started to spend time with himself. He walked longer distances, not to escape, but to understand his own thoughts. He sat in quiet places, learning to enjoy his own presence. He began helping others, not to fill a void, but because kindness was part of who he was. He met people with different stories. Some had been hurt, some had lost, and some were still searching, just like he once was. And in those moments, Aman realized something important. Love should not feel like a constant struggle to be seen. Love should not make you lose yourself just to be accepted. One afternoon, as the sun rested gently in the sky, Aman found himself sitting under a large tree near a quiet path. The place was peaceful, almost like it was waiting for something. That's when he saw her. She was sitting a few steps away, reading a book. There was something calm about her presence. Not loud, not forced, just real. After a while, she looked up and noticed him. "You come here often?" she asked with a soft smile. "Sometimes, mostly when I need quiet." She nodded. Quiet can tell you things noise never will. Aman looked at her for a moment, slightly surprised. "You sound like someone who understands," he said. She closed her book gently. "Maybe I do. Pain teaches in ways comfort never can." They began to talk, not about love at first, but about life, experiences, and truth. Their conversation was simple, but it flowed naturally. There was no pressure, no need to impress, no fear of being misunderstood. For the first time in a long while, Aman felt something different. He felt seen. Days turned into weeks, and their conversations became deeper. They spoke about their past, not to reopen wounds, but to understand each other. She listened without judgment. She spoke without pretending. And Aman noticed something quietly powerful. He didn't have to fight for her attention. He didn't have to prove his worth. He didn't have to beg for space in her heart. It was already there. One evening, as they sat under the same tree where they first met, she looked at him and said, "You carry a lot of love, don't you?" Aman smiled softly. "I used to think it was too much for the wrong place." She shook her head gently. "No, it was never too much. It was just given to someone who didn't understand its value." Aman looked at her, and in that moment, everything became clear. Love was never the problem. His heart was never the problem. The only mistake was giving it to someone who could not receive it. And so, Aman's love did not disappear. It did not break. It did not fade. It simply found its way to a heart that recognized it, to a soul that respected it, and to a place where it could finally rest.